The challenge is that these people want a lifestyle. It's not about the luxury real estate. It's not about the square feet. It's not about having a tennis court or not. It's about what kind of life can they enjoy? Can they travel with? Can they leave their home with? Can they live in their home with? What can they provide to their children, their families? That's what they're really buying here, because the Bay Area lifestyle, in my opinion, is one of a kind, not only in weather, but in reach to many other cities, whether it's Lake Tahoe or Napa. There's many different types of enjoying that are very accessible, right? And then there's the SFO International Airport,
which is huge,
which is one of the best international airports in the world.
And I would say, I would add to that, I think that's such an advantage of living by, say, Hillsborough or Atherton, particularly Hillsborough. You're like 10 minutes away from the airport, or even 5, depending on where you are in Hillsborough. And that's an advantage to some of these CEOs and .com higher ups that are continuously traveling, even though travel was kind of slowed down. As a real estate broker or real estate agent in this area, what are the advantages? Because like your listing comes up, but you probably never see listings rarely below $1 million. I mean, it's kind of unheard of in this area.
I mean, entry level is really hitting the 2 million mark in the Bay Area, which is considered super luxury around the rest of the country.
Yeah. Like in New Jersey Housewives, you could see a $2 million home and it looks like it costs $25 million here.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy, right?
So the entry level is really high.
Yeah.
What's considered luxury starts really high. Our median values are between 2 and 4 million. And then really above 4 million is kind of what we call luxury market. Mm-hmm. It's a challenge because those are jumbo loans, right? Yeah. The rest of the country is primarily under $1 million or under $2 million. Yep. So they're doing more conventional. They're able to take advantage of other types of financing tools like FHA. We, on the other hand, are challenged by that because our loan amounts are significantly higher. And that's why most families that we do serve, especially in the entry-level market, need multiple income streams to qualify. But we are also in the Bay Area, and the Bay Area is a very tech area. And one thing about the tech industry is that they don't just compensate their employees on income, they also compensate with stocks. Mm-hmm. And these stocks, when they go IPO or when they just rise in value because a new tech comes out, that makes these people stock rich. So now they're able to leverage not only loans, but they're able to leverage stocks in order to buy real estate or get other investments.
Do they have to sell their stock to leverage it or no? So they could just say, hey, you're putting like a lien on it, or there's an agreement that if something,
Yeah. So, a lot of my clients who are stock heavy, mm-hmm. but really believe in their companies or don't want to liquidate their stocks because mm-hmm. during liquidation, it's a taxable event.
I see.
Also, if they feel that the value is going to go up, mm-hmm. then they don't want to give away what they believe will be the future upward value. Yeah, so what they do is they leverage it
and borrow against
it at an interest rate for a time. And then, then they refinance into a conventional, mm-hmm. Maybe it's easier to refinance than to do a purchase, or mm-hmm. maybe it's the fact that they don't want to pay the high interest rates. So they're going to pay a lower interest rate by going this way and then refi out when the rates go down. There's many, many different reasons, but I've seen people do it with stocks, with life insurance, and with 401ks.
You know what? We're actually going to get into that further because there's so many ways. There's this big challenge of getting a loan nowadays, whether it's an investment property, your own property, but with the interest rate being so high, not as many qualify. So you have to have creative financing or get to that level where you understand what are alternatives. And we're going to cover that on this episode. The Bay Area's prices, some thought, well, the interest rate's going to go up and continue to go up, or it has gone up. The Bay Area prices, however, I haven't seen them fall drastically. So what's going on there? Why do you think the prices, say in Hillsborough, Atherton, and in some cases are selling for, a sale price that we both are like, wow, that went for this price, and it's insane because you would think, well, how is that person affording it? Or You would think there's less demand with the higher interest rates, but it seems to be maybe a supply issue. What do you think?
So there's multiple issues, but it all goes back to supply. The lack of supply is going to create a situation where the market's going to sustain and prevent itself from crashing. There's a few factors that I talked about. First of all, there's very low inventory. For the first time in the history of America, over 40% of homeowners own their homes outright.
Oh, wow.
Out of the 60% remaining, over 90% of those homeowners have an interest rate of 3% or less.
Wow, which is incredible.
So they're not motivated to move, to refinance, to pull out. They're motivated to stay. Yeah. And a third factor that a lot of people don't take into consideration is that in our history, housing generally moves into the life cycle of the human, right? So you have kids, you need a bigger home, you move. Mm-hmm. Your kids move out, they go to college, you move.
Yeah, you
right?
don't need a 7,000.
So you have an upsize, downsize. That's not happening because the largest generation of homeowners today are the largest generation of homeowners today are the baby boomers, and the baby boomers like to age in place.
I see.
Additionally, their children have an affordability issue.
So what's moving happening back in.
Is they're moving back in. So the inventory that would have normally come from the human life cycle is not coming from the biggest base of homeowners in America.
Interesting.
So all of that put together is really what's driving the fact that there's no inventory. People are not motivated to sell. It's keeping the prices up. While you are seeing price reductions, I think the price reductions are more because sellers are still of the mindset that, prices are jarring up, and buyers are of the mindset that the market is crashing. So what you see is this both mindsets taking time to adjust, which is what's keeping people on the fence. But the price adjustments is more about that, or it could be that, the pricing strategy wasn't on point with what the neighborhood value is.
It's unbelievable. And you're absolutely right. I read all the time about how the generation that's coming out of college is not really able to keep up with their loans, but they're also not able to find a job at certain times. So they're moving back in with the parents. Now, for the parents out there, that kind of burdens your retirement plan. There's jokes out there, can't wait till the kid turns 18 so I can live my life again and so forth. But it seems like a lot of kids are moving back in. There's some are saving, but some are actually staying. And we've seen that in the Bay Area as well. All right, let's get to the next question. And by the way, guys, I do want to say Milana's energy is so cool. I always, anytime I meet her anywhere, she's got this smile, she's got this beautiful energy, and she knows the Bay Area. In fact, I want to talk a little bit about, before the next real estate question, you've also had a place in Miami. Yes. You've also had a place in Lake Tahoe. These are like, Miami's a hotbed right now. It's probably the place to party. Let's compare those three places for the viewer, because, and actually for me, that's interesting as well. I've been vacationing in Miami quite a lot.
I'm actually licensed there as a broker. Yes.
Oh wow, what a small world. But Miami is just so booming. Give me the lifestyle in the Bay Area for the audience. Give me, say, the lifestyle or why Tahoe's important into that niche. And then what does Miami add to the flair if someone can have the opportunity of these properties?
So, the lifestyle in the Bay Area, people here enjoy great climate, great education, a very inspiring group of people, right? Here, everyone is working hard and trying to build companies and ideas and create technology. And this is really a hub center of business creation. And so when they go home, they want to relax, whether it's outdoors. After COVID, that's been a big thing, a big demand. Yeah. Or whether it's looking at a beautiful view. We're also in a very beautiful area of the country. But people really want to relax, tone down. They're very big on education, kids' activities, and they love the outdoors. A lot of people here love the outdoors, which is why Tahoe is such a keen place. Tahoe is not only one of the most gorgeous lakes in the country, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But it also creates a huge outdoor adventure. You can ski, rock climb, There's things for kids to do up in the mountains, even if it's not snow season. During the summer, you're boating on the lake. It's a great
getaway.
R&R getaway because here everyone is stressed. Everyone is working. Even in the uber luxury properties that I sell, those people are working and they are under stress. And though they're enjoying that lifestyle, they want somewhere to kind of get away, but they don't want to be too far. And Tahoe is driving to here. Now,
on Tahoe, sorry, I know you want to jump to Miami, and I love Miami as well, or South Florida. But on Tahoe, there's this big debate, and you're a Bay Area real estate agent, and you own the property in Tahoe. There's this big debate of North Tahoe versus South
Tahoe.
So what is your thought on that?
Okay, so I've enjoyed both. So let me preface that. Yeah. The house that we had was in South Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
And what I loved about South Lake Tahoe is if you like to be out and about, it's got more of a city feel. You have comedy shows and restaurants and casinos, and it's got a day and night life that's a little bit more exciting for those who like a little more entertainment. North Lake Tahoe is very understated. It's much quieter. There isn't much casinos or comedy show or nightclubs. There's not that.
No little nightlife is what you're saying.
There's no nightlife.
Nightlife.
And so, in North Lake Tahoe, people like to stay in their homes, cook dinners. If you're like me and don't tell the world, I can't cook.
YouTube.
So going out is kind of a thing. When you don't have a cook on hand, right? So if I'm there with the kids, I need to go to a restaurant.
Hey, but you know what? You're a beautiful woman. You want to get dressed up. You want to you want someone to cook. You want to have a glass of wine. I understand that.
Right? Not too much to ask for.
You're working your butt off during the week. Who wants to sit at home and cook?